Jared Stepp, I-10 Accessories.
With that,
Jeff Martin.
And we are short and fat.
Crystal Chavez, Correct Society.
Wayne Nix, R Invention.
Nicole Johnson, CPR to Go.
Sonny Weber and Brent Jacobs, and we are Flockright.
Tara Guidry, Cajun Freight.
Thomas Hall, Gerald Upton, Founders of Play.
Shane's the Power.
We can get companies from the state, from outside the state, to come here to South Louisiana and take their business ideas and take it to the next step.
The vision is to take really good companies that have potential to be great and to bring them into our ecosystem, to provide you with the training, the access to mentors, the partners, the peers, and the facilities that you need to be successful.
The relationships that I've built through the Accelerator program has been the thing that has really changed everything for me.
Through the Opportunity Machine and the Accelerator model, we're able to take those companies, pack the soil with great mentors and advisors, and then grow those companies to as big as they want to be. We've got great experience with those companies over the last 3 or 4 years. Businesses that have come into the Opportunity Machine, started out slow, got to bigger office space, and then now they've got their own buildings, right?
Right, 4 years ago, I was sitting right where you are with an idea for a company and trying to figure out how to get it started. We were in Lake Charles at the Seed Center. Here we are today. We're in 125 cities and 5 states. We'll do over $40 million in revenue this year, and on our way to hope bigger and better things.
The most valuable part of the program has been the mentors, the volunteer mentors from UL and some other areas. They've helped us look at every aspect of our business and how we're running it, and I got more help in a 4-week period than I would have gotten in years. It was priceless.
Some of them were just fresh startups, but it was a great conversation, and I leave more excited about the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Lafayette than I've ever been before. It was just fantastic.
If you have a great idea and you're willing to do the work, we promise that we'll be 100% committed with you, to you, alongside you.
All right, way to kick it off, huh? All right, so once again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out here tonight. If you spent the day with us, then you know that we've had a very long day, but it's been a very, important day. It's been a very successful day. It's been a very beneficial day for entrepreneurs, and at least I feel so, and I hope that all of you feel the same. So in case you missed it, I just want to recap in case you want to make sure that you want to mark it on your calendars for next year. But at 9 a.m. this morning, we had the Mayor President, Joel Robideau, come out, and he spoke about the CREATE initiative and how important it is to, funnel that and make sure that you get out and vote at the next election to make sure that we vote for that. And, if you experienced driving last night, it also plays into the, the water, the drainage system, so that's going to be pretty important too if you're trying to get to work and that. And then right after that, we had 24 amazing companies promote their stuff throughout the day, right out there in the lobby and around the fountain area. And I think it was pretty successful. I saw a lot of people engaging with those companies, and a lot of those companies exchanging information and talking to people about what it is that they're doing. And I really appreciate all of them for coming out and participating in this event and helping me and the rest of the OM team and Light and Innovate keep this going for the second year. Right after that, we had an amazing keynote speech from Chris Moe, the CEO of Waiter. I think it was very, very heartfelt, very motivating, and if you missed that, I'm pretty sure his wife recorded it, so we can probably get the video and send it out or post it somewhere. After that, we had a number of great entrepreneurial-focused classes, anywhere from social media to mentorship to just healthy practices. And then right after that, I'm sure most of you were here for that, we had the reception, and then now we're about to kick off the pitch competition for the final pitch competition for the Accelerate Acadiana teams. So a couple of things that we're doing tonight, I want to make sure everyone's aware of. If you registered and you are here tonight, you're entered in a chance to win a 24-inch curved Samsung screen monitor. And if you would also like to be entered in a chance to win a podcasting kit, a Barrington podcasting kit. You have the next one? I want to make sure we're getting the right. Sorry if you didn't have it next. Okay, all right, we'll get into that. Anyway, I'll tell you more about that in a second. So we do have voting next. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit later, we're going to tell you more information about how to vote for your favorite pitch tonight. You'll have the opportunity to correct me if I'm wrong, Brian over there, since we don't have it right there, but you'll be able to text pitch. There you go. Pitch to 40691 to get started, and that'll enter you in a chance to win a podcasting kit. It also enter you in the ability to vote for your favorite pitch competition tonight. So there's 9 teams total. You get to pick one at the end of the night. Whenever we're ready for that, we'll go ahead and send you another text message that'll just ask for your vote. You simply type in the name of the company, which we'll have listed there, and you'll have placed your vote. So simple as that. Very easy. We'll remind you again a little bit later. So I know he's probably not ready yet, but we're going to go ahead and call up Pete Prados to talk a little bit more about this pitch competition and what's going on with Rinwang.
Wow, look at this. This is amazing. This has been such an amazing journey. As I look in the crowd and I saw the video, first of all, I just want to do a great shout out to Believe Entertainment and Brandon, who's done an amazing job. What do y'all think about that video? Was that great? We're going to show this all over the United States and get more people to come to our next accelerator, because tonight, this is the first Accelerate Acadiana final pitch competition. This isn't our last, did I say that right? Yeah, this is our first final pitch competition, because the goal of this is to do this over and over again. Because as we create this ecosystem, we're creating amazing entrepreneurs, and we want to accelerate them to the next level of success. Y'all agree with that? So there's an African proverb that I found that said, if you want to go quickly, you go alone. But if you want to go far, then you become an entrepreneur with a really crazy idea and hope that somebody will listen to you. And you drink a lot of Red Bull. And that's what this group has been accelerating for the past 13 weeks. And you can't do this alone. And so what I want to do, and this is for the 9 companies that have been accelerating with us for these 13 weeks, I want to show them who has helped you. So I have the distinct honor of recognizing our partners, our mentors, and those that really helped these teams. First of all, where are my teams? Let me hear you. It's all about you. So real quickly, a brief history. Somebody asked me how this all got started. About 3 years ago, when we started Innovate Lafayette, we had this crazy idea of showcasing entrepreneurs during Festival International. And this group called Windrock International came, and they kind of, we said, you know, what do y'all do? And they said, we're this national company, and we kind of like what y'all are doing down here. And we said, oh, okay, good. Y'all come back, and could y'all be a sponsor next year? And they said, sure. So we took their money, and then they kept coming back. And they said, you know, you got something really special in this ecosystem. What we need to do next is try to get a federal grant. And I think we can get one for about $700,000. And all you got to do is match that. No problem, right? So we called a couple of friends. We just need some cash, small and marked bills, anything. But in reality, it wasn't that hard. We had a couple of federal grant partners, and those you see on the screen. I want you to stand up if you're one of the federal grant partners. If you're with UL, including the mentors with the MBA program, please stand up. If you're with LEADA or the Opportunity Machine, Zach, Destin, Alyssa, stand up. I want these teams to see all the people that has helped them. If you're with Community Foundation or Acadiana Economic Development Council, please stand up. Winrock Vicky, who came all the way from Arkansas who rode the wave of water all the way down here. We could not have done this without you, Vicki. Thank you so much. These are our federal grant partners. Now, we also had other partners that helped us get here. If you're with UBS, William James Investment Group, stand up. Rick Freyard, stand up. If you're with Waiter, stand up. And if you stood up earlier, stand up again. I want everybody to see what it takes to accelerate 9 businesses here. Developing Lafayette, Skip, if you're here, stand up. Right Angle, Scientists, Acadiana Angels, that's you, Alan. Yeah. Cox Business, stand up. Tom Cox with golfballs.com, M&M International, NXT Energy, Sunbelt Business Brokers, LCVC, One Acadiana, Jones Walker, Teamwork Solutions, Believe Entertainment, Aileen Bennett, countless mentors. If you were a mentor that came on Mondays or Fridays, please stand up. I know I'm going to miss y'all. This, guys, you teams, look around. This is just probably a tenth of the people that came and helped you for the last 13 weeks. It takes more than a village. It takes several villages. So we give you a round of applause. And before I sit down, I just want to say there's one person, really above all, who has worked late nights. Zach, you started crying at the last one, so it's your fault if I do this again. It's been working on graphics, our press releases, social media, working behind the scenes tirelessly, and all at the same time while putting 21 hours of schoolwork in to graduate this semester. And we could not have done any of this without Kathleen. So I just want to thank you. Look at this. This is because of you. This is because of everybody. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to hear some pitches and have some fun tonight, huh? Let's do it.
I haven't memorized it yet. All right, so real quick, we want to introduce our judges for tonight, so that way the teams know who to be afraid of. And then all of you who are not in the teams know, who to watch and see how they kind of talk about things. We have Julie Jonet from Cox Business. We have Alan Hebert. He's the owner of Hebert Destel CPA firm, and he's the director of Acadiana Angels. And then we have Tom Cox, who's the founder of golfballs.com and is also the president there of the Opportunity Team. So the rules are very, very simple. Each team has 3 minutes to give their presentation up on here, and they have 4 minutes of Q&A. We will try to get to audience questions if we have time. If the judges panel doesn't have any further questions that they feel are very important to ask for their decision, we'll try and get to some Q&A from the audience as well. So we have Zach. Never where you're
right here.
Zach will handle Q&A, but he will also handle the stop clock. So this is very important. I know you can't really see it from here, but it's this little black box right here. Zach's going to hold it up. All the teams have to stare at that and make sure that they are on time, because if they go over, doesn't matter if they're in the middle of their pitch, in the middle of a sentence, in the middle of a word, they will be stopped and they can't go any further. That's it. You got 3 minutes to pitch, and that's all you got. Questions, maybe a little bit lenient depending on what Pete says. He's a stickler for that agenda. All right. So without further ado, we'd like to call up Cajun Crate.
Can y'all hear me? All right. How many of you know someone that has moved out of the state of Louisiana? All right, now, wouldn't you love to send them some Rev coffee, some Cajun power sauce, or some Cajun cane kettle corn? Well, that's what we do. This is Cajun Crate. Cajun Crate is a monthly Louisiana subscription box for Cajuns and foodies across the U.S. Our boxes revolve around a new theme every month, like Mardi Gras, grilling, and last month, we sent out a brunch box. Our boxes come complete with guides that include recipes, where the product came from, and brand history. Quickly after starting Cajun Crate, we realized that we weren't just addressing the needs of Cajuns abroad, but the competition in your local grocery store is fierce. And the market here is saturated with Cajun products. We made it our mission to bring exposure to all of these local brands. When is the last time you've had bacon barbecue sauce, garlic pepper jelly, smoked cane syrup? Well, these are just a few of the products that you'll experience through our subscription box. We work with big name brands and small batch artisans that are all looking for brand exposure. To date, we have made over 70 brand partners and have featured over 100 different products through our subscription box. We have shipped over 2,500 Cajun Crates across the U.S. into military mail. 13 weeks ago, I was pitching Cajun Crate. And since being in an accelerator, I've realized what we do well is fulfillment and marketing. So we're taking what we've learned and we're helping our brand partners so they can do what they do well, which is making great Cajun products. So we're going to help them with fulfillment and marketing with our own fulfillment solution. We are seeking a $50,000 investment with a $50,000 line of credit for 10% share in our company. With this investment, we will be able to grow our subscription business, grow our fulfillment solution, and of course, help the growth of other Louisiana businesses through our success. Thank you. Oh, question, sorry. I'm ready to run away. Sorry.
Hi, great job, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Really interesting. So my question is, I want to make sure that I'm clear. Did you switch from actually holding the product and shipping it, and you're saying that you're going to now encourage the suppliers to provide the product and you'll just handle the fulfillment?
Okay, so I have Cajun Crate, which we're our subscription box, and I also, through my website, CajunCrate.co, we send all of our products a la carte. So we have a subscription box. You can subscribe monthly, and that's where you discover great Cajun products. You can come back online and buy it a la carte. We're also finding that all the vendors that we're working with have the same need of marketing and fulfillment. They're not good at e-commerce and shipping. So we're already in that game. So we're going to help them not only through our website, through their own website. And what we'll do is their orders are going to come through us, and we'll fulfill those orders through their own website, and we're going to be behind the scenes, just taking a small profit share of that, but then that way they can really focus on making their product and not worrying about fulfillment and shipping and all that kind of stuff that eats up all their time.
So you won't actually take in the inventory, you're gonna access it as it's ordered?
Yes, I'm going to access it as it's ordered. Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit about what channels you obtain customers through and what kind of growth trajectory you're on.
So we started out with Kickstarter, and basically at the beginning stages, I was reaching out to all these Cajun brands that I knew, basically sourcing throughout the area. Since we've grown as a brand, people are coming to us, and they're seeking us out, so they're now getting in the box, they're reaching out to us, and I'm making new brand relationships. We have a really low, under 10% churn rate in our subscription box service. Our repeat business is 60% of our customers come back and buy repetitively. That's either month after month, or they'll come back and buy a la carte. And basically, we're just also trying to get them either through our website or if they go direct to that website just to buy from them. Eventually, they're going to be coming through us as well.
Still good on time? Love the business model, understand the appeal of Cajun around the country. It seems like it's a fairly narrow niche. I like the fact that you've tweaked your model a little bit to incorporate some fulfillment. How will you be able to significantly ramp up your 2,500 packages to date? Congrats on that. How do you significantly ramp that up?
So it's 2,500 subscription boxes actually. So that's just the subscription box. I've actually surpassed that mark this quarter actually by double. We've actually sent out 2,500 Cajun crates to date and also 2,500 a la carte packages. So our just online Cajun store repeat business is getting much bigger. I want to focus a lot more on marketing so that way we can grow that subscription box number though from 250 active subscribers to 1,000 active subscribers. So that way our repeat business grows obviously. But then also we want to share in that revenue stream of getting direct sales from all of our brand partners that we're partnering with. We're going to be handling their back end eventually. So we're going to get a little piece of everything.
Tell us a little bit about your gross profit margin, and are you making any money?
I am making money right now. So I am actually able to pay myself, and we're already profitable. But right now, our profit margins on the Cajun crate, depending on the month, is anywhere from 20 to 30%. But on our a la carte business, it's anywhere from 50 to 70% on our repeat individual business. The more Cajun crates we sell, though, obviously, the better margins we do. Okay? Thank y'all.
Good job. All right. A little Cajun innovation. All right, next up is core exercise. Come on.
Good evening, good evening. So good evening again, entrepreneurs and sharks. My name is Crystal Chavez, and I'm one of the co-founders of Corexercise. And we specialize in injury prevention, exercise, self-preservation, and longevity. Upon joining Opportunity Machine, we realized that our expertise was needed in many, many other areas. For instance, who can we save? Those, of course, who are doing the saving. Healthcare, nurses, aides, technicians, anyone involved in patient care, lifting a patient physically, whether it's taking them to a doctor's appointment or just giving them a shower, simple things that they're gonna need. Our military, our police, our fire department, helping assist with those non-combat injuries, everything that can be preventable, only if they had the right foundation, the proper way to properly lift it. And of course, athletics. As a former Raging Cajun alum myself, track and field athlete, when you realize that you're not going to turn pro, and now you have to work a full-time job with a part-time body, okay? That's hard to handle for some of my student athletes. So you need to have that proper foundation so that you know you're doing your exercise right for now and also for the long haul, for longevity again. So for that clientele, we developed an app focusing using augmented reality so you can line yourself with the image as my partner on the screen, see yourself in it. Make sure that you can align and do the exercise properly. How are we gearing this toward industry-specific needs? Well, before your employees fall and call William G, you need to call me. Okay. How are we tweaking this? Currently, we're broadening our biomechanic assessments, making them industry-specific. There is a proper way to lift a can of Coke if you work for Coca-Cola, right? If you're sitting at a desk, if you're lifting patients, prepping them for surgery, there is a proper way to hold that leg and hand surgeons the tools that they need. Also, continuing on with our trainings, our current clinics, the expertise is in my partner and himself. So for your investment of $150,000 for 15% of the company, we are going to broaden that. Excuse me. We want to bring ourselves to our clients with mobile fitness equipment, marketing. We want to give them the tools that they need so we can come to their job, assess them, and then correct everything from following. Also, hiring more trainers to be able to meet the demands of the workforce. So we leave you with this. All jokes off aside, self-preservation is much more important than what meets the eye. It's for people like my partner who has to go home or before going to work has to make sure his mother, who's paralyzed from the waist down, gets what she needs. If he is hurt, so is she.
Very good job.
Thank you.
I like the little attorney deal. I guess one of my questions is, how are you scaled at this point? You know, how many, do you have a clinic? Do you have, how many employees? You mentioned you and a partner.
Yes, so currently we do not have any trainers. It is still myself and my partner. Scale to size, we actually still have full-time jobs. So we are working this business when we see fit, when we have time. With your investment, that will allow one of us to work the business full-time and really get after it and serve those industries that we need so we can hire personal trainers, train them to our ergonomic standards, the biomechanic assessment, and really spreading the growth that's much needed, especially in Louisiana.
So what is your vision about how large it could be, how you could scale it, make it profitable?
It can be global. Health is everywhere. You have millions of nurses, personal trainers. Just think about your everyday coaches and athletes who they don't have the budget to hire a certified personal trainer, but have to have eyes on 80 children lifting football, lifting a bench press. It's necessary for my all-field people. They have to get back home to their children, to their wives, to their parents. And again, military on its own is $1 billion. They spend $1 billion in health care for my nurses, workman's comp, insurance on injuries, sick time. It's unbelievable the money that can be saved just if they had that foundation on how to take care of themselves while they're taking care of the public.
I agree that the market's vast, so what's your vision about how you would market it if you could scale it?
So if we could scale it, specifically our first tactic would be healthcare, of course. Once we get into that area, you're going to see the transition. So once our nurses and our aides and our orderlies, they're able to teach not only their clients or their employees who they work with, it's going to grow. And eventually, so our exit plan would be to, once we branch off in there, ending probably in athletics or the military. We've been getting a lot of people wanting to work with us for the military branches. Again, those non-combat injuries, they're so preventative. With the money that we're spending already with our military, let's put some of that to good use.
Great presentation. Just a little clarification. I'm not sure. Are you talking about training and hiring a bunch of individual trainers all over the world? Or are you talking about developing an app? And is that app something that you guys develop directly, or are you just using some other form of app that you're modifying to your needs?
So first off, we started as a training company, and we still are. We did a slight pivot, thanks to Opportunity Machine, knowing that that's our bread and butter, and we are the expertise. So we are going to be geared towards training and hiring individuals nationally, globally, if we can reach it that far. The app is almost lanyard, in a sense, but it's still a necessary tool. We've been getting requests from personal trainers, occupational therapists, physical therapists, that they want to use the app along with their clients. So if I have a patient with a torn ACL and only has 115 degrees of flexion in that right knee or that left knee, but they still need to squat, they want to be able to adjust that. So that definitely could take another avenue, but right now we're focused on the training and the assessments and personal face-to-face clinics.
Last question, says Zach. Great presentation, thank you.
Thank you.
Who makes the buy decision? I understand what you're selling. Who makes the buy decision? How do you reach that person? And how, as a percentage, what's your close rate?
So our connect is going to be either human resource or the safety, anyone in the safety so say if it's Lowe's or where everyone, so anything in gas and oil and gas, is gonna be anyone with safety, usually human resources. If it's a smaller business, that's our main area. So the close, so far we're 100% with pitching, because we got 3 local contracts and we secured them all. Again, and that's working the business part-time. Me and my teacher, my partner, we're teachers. The company does not have any debt. So we've been bootstrapping this ourselves and pitching it and making it work. But we really need that investment to get after it full time.
All right. So next up, some of you may have seen in the video, CPR to go, but now soon to be CPR Connect.
How y'all doing? Hi, my name is Nicole Johnson, and I am the founder of CPR Connect. For the past 6 years, we have been offering convenient, on-demand, mobile CPR and first aid training for individual and business clients throughout Louisiana. Today, we're seeking a $50,000 investment for 10% of our business in order to scale into a national brand. So here's the thing. If you are a nurse, a nursing student, personal trainer, bus driver, or any of the many positions listed here, then you are probably, no, scratch that. You are absolutely required to be CPR certified for your job. And as humans, nobody ever thinks about your certification renewal until it's time to get it renewed, right? So if you wait until the last minute to get into a certification class, it's almost impossible to find one at the last minute. So we believe the way that the world is today is not the way that the world will be in the future. If Uber can deliver a car and a driver to you, and Waiter can deliver hot food to you, and Amazon can hover over your house and drop groceries at your doorstep, then we absolutely believe that CPR Connect should pivot into the way that the world will be. So the light bulb went off. We bring CPR training to you. So right now, we are building a web platform with a database of instructors and a database of consumers, and we plan for our business to be the matchmaker between the two, taking a small percentage of each transaction that's processed through our system. So you wouldn't pay any more or less than you would for any other training provider, except we will connect you. So if you need a training on a Saturday morning or a Sunday afternoon, because that's the only time that works for you, and you need that training in order to get back to work on Monday morning, we will connect you. If you have a large group and you need somebody to come to you, and you need somebody to come at that perfect time that works for everybody's schedule, we will connect you. And if you just so happen to be an instructor and you want to make a little extra money, we will connect you, saving time, money, and lives. So with your investment, we plan to finish building out the web platform along with the multiple databases, the matchmaking system, and the payment processing on the back end. We already know where we're going to get our instructors from, and we've already identified a huge list of qualified leads of people who need to be CPR certified. So we would love for you to join us today at CPR Connect. We think that the world should be easier to connect and safer with the required CPR training. Again, my name is Nicole Johnson. We are CPR Connect, and we hope to save some lives with you.
Awesome presentation.
Thank you.
Love your spirit.
Thank you.
I believe you will connect us.
I got you.
So describe the scale. Where are you today? You know,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so right now we service companies throughout Louisiana, and we're a service business. But we want to transition into the broker model, the matchmaking system. We eventually, once we have figured out that broker model, which we're working on that now, we plan to scale regionally and then nationally. The market size of individuals that are required to be CPR certified for their job nationally is 32.5 million individuals.
Wow. How many employees do you have today?
I have 3 contracted instructors that work with me.
Are you profitable today?
Yes, I am.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Good job, Nicole. I mean,
Thank
the
you.
accelerators obviously helped you tremendously.
Definitely.
Like the new name, like the presentation. I mean, you leaps and bounds for the first time we heard you. So what does it take to get this broker model going? I mean, how are you going to connect with all the businesses? Is it just going to be word of mouth, or how are you going to make that happen?
No, so right now we just partner with the company to help kind of automate our systems and create a national marketing strategy, and the investment would be used to build that out.
Great presentation, Nicole.
Thank you.
So the challenge that you may have, or some people have, with kind of the broker model, is that you've got a finite universe of buyers and a finite universe of sellers, and in a fairly short amount of time, all the big customers you may have already connected, and then they're going to say, "Well, I'm connected. I like who I've worked with." Tell me. I guess kind of inherent in the challenge of matchmaking is that once you've made the match, they're connected and they won't need your service again. How is that not the case with CPR Connect?
So the system that we are going to create is the part that's going to kind of glue it all together. So we want to create a culture with our instructors, with our individual and our business clients, to where they trust us and depend on us to make sure that they're certified, that they're compliant, and that they stay employed. So we will create the system that'll kind of match it all together. It's almost like Uber. You know, you might pick me up, but I'm dependent on Uber to send a driver to bring me back home, not the original driver. So.
Great. Good answer. Great answer.
I just had a quick question about the broker model. How are you going to make money off of that? Are you going to pay them hourly and then but mark up their hourly rate, or are you charging the client a particular fee? How are you going to make money?
So with CPR training is usually paid, the cost is per participant, and so we will just take a percentage of each participant that purchases through our system. And so the trainer will get the majority of the pay, but they will be responsible for training, cards, and all follow-up and everything with the client. We'll just do the matching. I'm sorry, they won't do the follow-up. We'll do the follow-up thereafter, but they'll get the majority of the.
One more quick question. How are you going to keep the instructors that you hire from stealing all the clients that you introduce them to?
That's something that we're working on right now, because that's something that we realize we're going to have to figure that out. But we're going to figure out that magic sauce. Definitely will. Yeah.
It's hard to argue with the magic sauce, huh? It's the answer for everything. All right. So next up is I-10 accessories.
Now. Can you all hear me? Thanks for the introduction, Destin, sorry. My name's Jared, I'm with I-10 Accessories. And at I-10, we've been making really cool stuff for your smartphone and tablet for a while now. Now, we make things that we want. Now, when I worked at AT&T, I loved selling charging cables because everyone needs more than one. One at the office, 3 in the car, one at the bedside, of course, one by the couch. And you're going to have to replace one of those pretty soon, right? Because they don't last very long. And we're okay with that. And what do? Well, we take it, we go to the store, we buy another one, and another one. There's got to be a better way, right? We didn't want to reinvent the wheel, we wanted to make a reel where you never have to buy another one again. So we started making our own cable. We made it 6 foot instead of 3 foot, and it actually charges faster than most 3 foot cables. We made it out of plastic, we made it out of nylon, braided, and we put a steel encasing around the lightning cable, so when you go and you grab that cable and you yank it out to unplug your phone like you're not supposed to do, the tip actually stays with the cable. We've made a product that we wanted. We wanted to see if anybody else did. So we brought it to Kickstarter as a project, and we found out they did. We sold $167,000 in 30 days. To customers, oh, by the way, it is strong enough to pull a car. I missed that slide, my apologies. That's the Kickstarter slide. To customers all over the world, right? Which presented a new challenge for us. We had to ship to customers all over the world. We've never done that before. So we started right here in Lafayette. We partnered with Branch Warehousing to create an e-commerce fulfillment center that could ship a cable to anyone in the world with a 95% delivery rate. We worked with our forwarders and our warehouses overseas in China so that they could ship the product in bulk to any customer in the world. What we found happened was a lot of our international customers became international distributors, helping us expand the line and the brand. But we didn't stop there. We came out with the USB-C line, and most recently, the coolest pair of headphones. Nylon braided, aluminum finishes. They use an 8mm dynamic driver that has a robust base with clear highs that, well, you're not going to find from #DropTheBeats. Now, this market is pretty big, about $82 billion a year, and it's expected to be over $100 billion by 2020. And we want to disrupt that market just a little bit, just enough. Our best exit strategy is acquisition. We're looking at 5 to 7 years with a 5x to 20x multiple. We're currently asking for $300,000 for 15% in our company. My name is Jared, and we are I-10. Sorry about that slide. I've been practicing watching the screen, so, you know. Definitely love to answer any of your questions, y'all.
Awesome, great presentation. In fact, I don't know how this happens at my house, but we lose, I say we, I'm not included in we, but we lose one iPhone cable a week.
Yes.
I'm not kidding.
That's the only place I get my repeat customers.
I don't know how it happens. I really don't. And so anyway, I understand the need, I understand the product, and I understand that it's differentiated. I guess the question that and you, in your success is irrefutable. How do you plan to deal with, so one, huge competition, and two, the risk of knockoffs? So can you kind of speak to those?
Most definitely. So in 2015, when we brought this to Kickstarter, we were the only one making a 6-foot nylon braided cable with a lifetime warranty. We were first to market, and that's a big advantage of I-10, right? We're really quick and easy to see where the market's going, especially in technology. It's super quick. So we project, we hit the mark, and we're there when the market is, right? Is there going to be competition? Is there going to be knockoffs? Obviously. When it comes to knockoffs, there is things we can do. We do have opportunities for patents as we grow and get capital. We can go into looking at some of those with things in the pipeline. As far as competition, there's always going to be competition, especially in this type of industry. Again, almost $100 billion. It'll be there by 2020. There's only about 20 main key players. So I want my competition to notice me, because hopefully my competition's already doing $150 million a year, and they're going to want to buy me out.
So to Tom's question, if the problem is not tearing it up, but losing it,
yeah.
How do you compare cost-wise to just the off-the-shelf connectors, and what kind of margins do you have?
That's a great question. So I'm going to give you the perfect example. Apple sells their 3-foot cable for $20 retail. Normal brick-and-mortar mom-and-pop retailer makes about 20-25% profit on that. I sell the 4-foot version, if we can go back. I sell the 4-foot version for $20. Customer gets an extra foot, they get the I-10 advantage, nylon braided, made exactly the same way. The retailer makes over 52% profit. So just based on that product, we're still making, from a B2B level, about 42% profit. When I sell that directly to consumer, I'm at about a 62% profit margin. So when you average them out, I'm about a 52% profit margin overall as I move my B2C to equal my B2B market. Sorry, my mouth's getting a little dry. But that was a great question. But for the 4-foot example, we come in right at Apple. On that 6-foot, Apple sells a 2-meter or 6-foot cable, 1.8 meter. They sell theirs for $30, right? Over 200,000 negative reviews on Apple's website alone. Come in the same price point, instead of 25%, sell my cable, much better cable, customers who love my cable, and you make 52%. That's a win-win-win, right?
You are a salesman.
I wasn't. Who said that?
Me.
I wasn't always. Trust me. I want to give a big, big round of applause to Accelerate and Opportunity Machine, because for me to be up here 14 weeks ago, I mean, I think 3 seconds in, my knees would have locked and I just would have fell on the floor, flailing like a fish, and that's it.
Today you look like you've been selling used cars for years.
Right? Right?
So I have a left brain and a right brain question. So the mathematical question I have is, if you made $167,000 in 30 days, what will $300,000 do for you? I mean, you can make that in a month.
So that's a really great question. So again, we were about a year into market when we did this Kickstarter program. We didn't know what we didn't know, right? So what happened? We had manufacturing issues. We were able to learn through those issues, and now we're great at that. That's one of our strengths, right? I talked about shipping. We had major shipping issues. We originally went through USPS, 50% delivery rate internationally. We teamed up with DHL e-commerce. They gave us great rates based off of all the failed shipping we've done with USPS. So we were able to make that a win as well, right? So $167,000 was a lot. We probably spent more actually getting it through because we failed, right? But we had enough room to fail forward, learn, and become a much better company.
That was your revenue.
That was my revenue just for the Kickstarter. My whole year in 2015, we did $390,000. So year to date, in the 3.5 years, we're at just over $800,000. And we've got a bunch more cool products in R&D that we're trying to get out. So we want to get more inventory. Demand's too much right now. We're not able to keep up. So we need more inventory. We have a lot of great products that we know are going to hit the right mark in about 6 months, and we want to be there.
Okay, one quick question. Can you comment on the brand name, I-10?
Hey, it's where we live. You probably came here to get on it, right? So we figured... How many of y'all traveled on I-10 to get here today? So when we started off, I got onto I-10 in Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. Those were my customers, right? So we called it I-10 Accessories. And we didn't know how that brand name would relate when we got out there. I went to my first Apple Specialist Marketing Co-op, ASMC conference. Apple was there. Here I am, I-10. We're in San Francisco, right? And they're like, I-10, that's pretty cool. It's like iPhone with the 1 and the 0, like binary, right? They're like, I know, right? Totally. That's exactly what we thought of.
That's my question. I thought you were trying to trick us.
Yeah, that's what we go with.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all so much for your time.
Good job, Jacob. I mean, Jared. Oh, man. All right. So next up, we have Shane East with Kyron. Come on.
Good evening. My name is Shane East, and I'm the CEO and founder of Chiron. We build video games that save lives. So we came up in the safety training business in the oil field and marine industries, and we saw that there was a real need for new training materials for online training. So we started building custom content and subscription content for training in those markets. And we saw that everybody was using PowerPoints and using videos, and we said video games would be much more fun to use. So we're looking for a $300,000 investment for 20% of our company. And you can see from the graph what we're going to be using that money for. Most of it's for development, product development. The rest is for marketing and for project management. So these are the companies that we've already started working for in the last 8 months or so that we've been doing the kite development. As you can see, some pretty big names, right? Shell, Carnival Cruise Lines. In the pipeline for next year, and it's only fourth quarter this year, we've got $1.5 million lined up. That's if we don't sell a dime from here on out. And once they're in the pipeline, we have a 90% close rate. So as you can see, we run about 65% profit margins on the content that we build right now. And as we move into 2018, we're looking at companies that are very similar to the companies that we're doing business with right now as targets. And then after we develop our subscription content, we're going to focus on smaller companies, marine companies, where we can resell the same content over and over and over again. Just to give you an idea what the subscription market looks like, for the 4 content libraries that we're building, it's about an $18 million market. A little bit about us. My partner and I, Jason, are both prior service military guys, so we have a tremendous amount of military management experience, project management experience. We've both been in the oil field, so we have a tremendous amount of training experience in the oil field and the marine industries. And to give you an idea of what our competition looks like. Right now, it's in classroom training, so kind of what you're doing right now. I know this is a little bit more entertaining than the average class you go to, but typically about 30, 45 minutes into an 8-hour training day, you're ready to shoot yourself. And I know because I teach some of those classes. And it's just as bad on the teaching side, I get it. And then on the CBT side, who's ever taken training, computer-based training? Okay, so it's either PowerPoint slides or it's videos, right? You press play, you turn around, you're looking at your email, you go in and grab a cup of coffee, you come back, you answer a question maybe or something, you press play again, you walk in and do the other thing. Our content, you can't do that. With video games, you have to play the video game. It won't play itself. So you're forced to walk around and do the content. Shane East from Chiron. Thank you.
Good job. Very impressive. So I guess my question, I'm really kind of hungry for finding out what this video games are like, the content. Can you describe it?
Okay, so we basically hire video game developers that don't know anything about oil field or marine industry at all. And we have our subject matter expertise in-house, and we just took the same game content that your kids or that you play on your mobile device or on your computer, and we just made content out of it that you can use for learning. So basically, any video game you've seen out there, we're either building something like it, or we're working on planning on building something like it.
So does that educate the end user completely, or is there like an introduction and a, you know what I'm saying?
Our goal is to build every amount, basically anything you've ever seen on a PowerPoint slide, we build into the content. We get away completely from videos and PowerPoint slides.
And how do you distribute them?
So we have a couple. With the custom content, if a company already has their own learning management system in-house, we just give them the content, they hang it on their own LMS. If it's a smaller company, let's say they have 100 or 200 employees, we build the content on our own learning management system, and they just pay for a seat, pay for a license. So for the subscription content, generally, depending on the number of employees in the company, ranges from $50 to about $150 a person for the 20-class subscription content. And then we can do specific classes that are for, pay-per-view. So
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So from hardware's perspective, so I call you up and say, I want this training program. Do I have to buy a specific piece of hardware, some joysticks and some, is it just, can I just use my laptop at the office?
Thanks for that question, because that's one of the ways we differentiate ourselves. There are a lot of people out there building content that requires special hardware, headsets. Everybody's seen VR training or AR training, or specific joysticks or something like that. And there's a lot of companies that are trying to sell the hardware too. We built everything with the oil field in mind and with the marine content, with the marine environment in mind. So it runs on a laptop, because everybody's got a laptop now. And if they don't have a laptop for the guy in the field, their supervisor has a laptop. So when they're trying to catch up with training and keep up with training, they can just log onto a laptop and do the training. It'll run on any machine that's out there. That's one of the reasons we keep the graphics so simple. I see the picture's a little blurry there. It's not quite that blurry when you're playing it. But we keep the graphics very simple for that reason.
A couple of questions. First is, so your delivery's over the web? or is it like client?
It depends. So if it's the subscription content,
Yeah.
it can be over the web or it can be client-based, depending on how the company wants to set it up. But most of our stuff's web portal-based. And if it's custom content, like they can either
You can give it to them on
thumb drive
something.
or yeah, correct.
And is this more effective or less effective? Can you kind of speak to the effectiveness of this type of training versus traditional, kind of the different types of training? It's a setup here. It's a setup here, right?
They're just feeding right into it. It's awesome. Typically, as you know, you sit in a classroom, you're going to retain between 25 to 30% of what you hear, because you just can't pay attention, for the entire class. If you're doing typical PowerPoint or video, you're going to retain a little bit more. With the e-learning content, with the video game content, you retain about 40% better than you would with a PowerPoint or a video. And the research, actually LSU did a grad school project on it, where they compared PowerPoint slide, typical computer-based training with video game training, and that's where we got our data. It was 40% better information retention.
Okay, this is the third part of my two-part question.
All right.
Let me see if I can't quite read my handwriting. Competition. So it seems like you guys are really on the kind of bleeding edge of this stuff right now. And so you've got an advantage window right now. I assume that there's some pretty large players that could enter the space quickly. Maybe you can kind of comment on that.
So we're about a year ahead, it seems like. All of our customers are telling us we're the first company that they've seen that does the curriculum development the way we do. There are some huge players that are trying to develop gaming for training, but they're all focused on the hardware-heavy equipment. Everybody wants to be on the front end of technology. The latest HoloLens, the latest this, that, but you need $3,000 worth of hardware to do any of the training. And we're just kind of sneaking in under the radar. Like, our goal is just to replace PowerPoints on a laptop, and nobody else is trying to do that. Maybe a year, 2, 3 years from now, after the subscription content's out there and it's being sold, I have a feeling we'll have some people, sneaking up and trying to copy what we're doing. But we're going to focus, the majority of our energy is going to be focused on the marketing piece, and we're already doing business with the big players in the market. I mean, once Shell says they're doing it, everybody else kind of falls in line. For instance, Exxon and Chevron, they both do their production safety training with Shell. And the first app that we built for Shell was production safety training. So we've already, without even talking to them, Chevron's already using this app, Exxon's already using this app, and Bessie, who sets all the compliance for all these guys federally, is using this app. So we knew if we focused on the big players in the market, that it would be easy to propagate that throughout and catch all the follow-on work.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we got some guys from my neck of the woods, Spur Bridge, in case you ever heard of it. Lockright Safety Backup.
Hello, my name is Sonny Weber, and I'm with Lockright Safety Backup. These hands represent everything that we're all about. They represent a father, a son, somebody out there actually grinding for their family every day to provide a living. You see, over 1 million hand injuries happen each year in the workplace, and 43% of your recordables on drilling rigs are from hand injuries alone, and that's what we're here to help. You see, our wrench was invented by Brent and Larry Jacobs out of a necessity because they got tired of seeing their workers go home to their families unsafe, and not like they left. This little green wrench right here is changing the oil and gas market. And the best thing about this wrench, it has no language barrier. You can speak any language. I can show you a 30-second video, and if you don't get our product, and you gotta get the product, you to have him doing something else because he's gonna hurt you. He's gonna hurt himself. He's gonna hurt your business. You see, our wrench has an embedded magnet in the back. It's industrial strength, very, very strong, where it allows that worker to get his hands off of the wrench. See, these guys right here have a hammer in their hands, and they're actually doing a very unsafe practice in a confined space. We take the hammer out of their hands. These guys with their hands on the wrench right here, we take the hands off of the wrench. Because our wrench is 100% hands-free, because it's magnetic. And that's what our product sets it apart from anything else in the world right now that's on the market. And it's not just oil and gas. It's pipelines, plants, chemical, manufacturing, anything that needs to hold a backup wrench and puts a bolt together, we're going to be able to help them. We have sold our product in over 30 countries around the world, and we make our product right here in the United States of America. In fact, in Louisiana, right here in Acadiana, that's right, we don't outsource it anywhere but right here. We have been in sales for 7 years. First year, 153,000. Guys, we're growing right now. We're on projected $1.2 million for a small Cajun company right here in the heart of Acadiana. We're pretty proud of that number. We're asking for $350,000 for 7% equity stake in our company. Our thing is to be proactive and not reactive, because every company that gets a guy hurt, they want to do something about it after the accident. Why? We have a product. Because you know what? My son's up there. Brent's son's up there. One day they're going to work in the oil and gas field, and I'm going to protect them. I guarantee it. Thank you for your time. This is Brent Jacobs.
Thank y'all very much for your time. I appreciate being here.
We have a changeover here. Got it.
Yeah, we have to do a changeover.
Awesome. Well, great presentation, great product. Can you tell me, can you tell me a little bit about your intellectual property?
We actually have a patent right now. We got it last January. Took several years to get through the patent process, which was all right, expensive, but okay. But that patent was a 20-year patent for this particular style setup, so we still have almost another 17 and a half years left on that patent.
Is there any competition for similar products that wouldn't fall under your intellectual property?
Not at this time at all. This patent pretty much covers anything that's dealing with the magnetic style system that sets up. Nobody else has it in this particular way. And our main competition is already what's out there, and we're gaining that market share.
So Brent, tell us, how are you selling this product around the world? Are you going through distributors? You selling on the internet? You're trying to sell it direct to the companies? How are you doing that?
We started out knocking doors. Then as we got people interested in the product, we started going through the distributor-based style. So we are actually, right now, we're about 80 distributors worldwide. We actually, because of OEM, we sat down, redid our website, redid everything. We're already getting emails of distributors telling us, man, y'all's website, the new videos, the new training, because we wanted to make sure you can take anything and put it in somebody's hand if they don't understand it, they can hurt themselves with it. Our new training, our new videos, new brochures, it's already making a huge impact. We are getting results right now from that. So we're completely distributor-based. We were selling some direct, but even if I find somebody in another country, I try to find a distributor and start somebody, because I cannot be over there personally knocking doors. These guys, after they understand the product, it's a very simple product, and we're getting a lot of results from them. All of a sudden saying, why would we not want to be safe?
With the kind of volume you could sell, what does your manufacturing, your production look like? Are you able to keep up with it? You know, what's your turnaround time on a large order? If you had a large order tomorrow.
Yeah, we could easily produce almost 1,000 wrenches in a couple of days. We were running about 700 wrenches a month right now in sales. I've already talked to and set up machine shops, set up water jet, the people that we need to produce our wrench. We could actually scale up. We could actually go to easily from selling 6,000 wrenches, 7,000 wrenches in a year. We could do that in a month without even, basically about a 3-week time lag.
So is that the runway? Is this the one product that you're gonna continue to focus on? Or are you planning for additional products?
We have other products, but this is the product that right now, because of the intellectual property, because of the fact that it's not out there, nobody else is being able to do what we're doing. We can take this product right here. I mean, the product we're replacing, they'll sell 100 to 150,000 of them every month, and we're only selling 700 of them right now.
Say that again?
There's 100 to 150,000 of these sold just in the United States every month, and we're only selling 700 a month. So we are such a tiny market share right now that we're experiencing almost a 60% increase.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing ourselves right now because we added just in the last week 5 more distributors. So we already went from 81 distributors, we went to 86 distributors just in the last week. There's no reason whatsoever we shouldn't at least double to triple to see at least close to $2 million worth of sales to $2.5 million just in the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's our goal. Not saying we're going to get there, but it's right there, right for the taking. Because now everybody's getting used to seeing our wrench. Everybody wants the green wrench. We're the only wrench out there painted green. We have everything locked down, intellectual property, the trademarks, and that's making us to where we're the only viable option.
One quick, how big is your sales force?
Actually, we're bringing Sonny on as much as we can. He's actually a local distributor for us, but he does such a great job. He speaks better than me, so I brought him in. There's no reason not to take advantage of what's there. But our sales force is the distributors. We have one company, just the name of Voltec Nanos. They have 30 different outfits, and each one of those outfits has 2 or 3 salesmen. They're all torquing operations. So I have 60 salesmen just out of that company that's pushing my product. So I'm not searching for salesmen. I'm searching for distributors that can push the product. And that gains me salesmen without me having to chase that particular guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Great job. All right, next up we have plate.
Hello everyone, my name is Gerald Huffman.
And my name is Thomas Strahan. We are the founders of Plate.
How many of you have ever had this problem? You want to go out, get a bite to eat, go get you a drink, but you're living on a really tight budget. Well, Thomas and I, we're no strangers to this. I'm actually a college student right now, and I live on a tight budget every day.
And I've recently graduated from college, and I'm strapped for cash all the time.
But the thing is, we still want to go out. We want to go to the bars and to the restaurants, and we want to experience everything Lafayette has to offer. We don't want to just sit at home and drink natural light and eat fast food all day.
And the best part about that is that the bars and restaurants that we want to go to want us there as well. So they promote specials to try and incentivize us to go. The problem lies in the fact that the internet and social media these days is just too noisy. So these specials oftentimes just fall on deaf ears.
So we created a solution to this problem. And that's our new mobile app, Plate. It's currently available in the App Store and the Google Play Store. And simply, this is how Plate works. We take the specials that bars and restaurants are running, put them directly on your phone, and they go straight to your hand.
You're probably saying to yourself, okay, Thompson Gerald, great. You built a list of specials. That's fantastic. You're right. It is. But this is where it gets more interesting. Our app is real time, meaning the deals that you find at 11 a.m. won't be the same deals that you find at 5 p.m. It's alive, it's dynamic, it's constantly changing. It's also location-based, meaning that the app uses your location to formulate the list right in front of your eyes. The deals at the very top are closest to you, and the deals at the bottom are farthest away from you. And it's also accurate, because we've all been there where you try and collect on a special at a restaurant, only to realize it expired 2 months ago. That's embarrassing on all accounts. We're trying to save you from that embarrassment.
So imagine this. You're in a different city, you're not familiar with the restaurants and bars there, but you still want to go out. But the thing about traveling is that it's very expensive, and your budget doesn't just expand because you're in a different city. So what if there was a way to find all the different specials so that you can go out and fully experience every city that you're in? Well, that's what Plate's going to be. We're going to be in every city, so wherever you go, you'll always be able to find the best food and drink specials.
Our ask is currently $100,000 for 20% of our company or a strategic partner. And ideally, this strategic partner would have a tech background, whereas they can help us build the final version of the app.
So you've probably already noticed by now, but our logo, it's actually an acronym. It stands for Places to Eat. And since Plate it was taken, we kind of just have to throw and drink off to the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Strawn. This is my business partner, Gerald Huffman. We're the founders of Plate. We'd love to answer any questions that you have.
So guys, one of the benefits you have is that I think the word used is dynamic, so it updates constantly.
Sure.
How does that happen? Is it magic?
Yes.
So right now, no, it's actually all set to timer. So we put it in one time, we put when it's scheduled to go on, and it automatically updates.
And this is where it's crucial that we have a good relationship with the business owners because, again, playing into the accuracy aspect, we want to make sure that people are going and collecting on these deals and not getting misinformation. That happens way too often in this world. We're trying to eliminate that problem.
So I like the play because it gets you free food and drink, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
That's kind of right.
Of course.
I saw that coming. Secondly, can you tell me about, talk about downloads, daily use, restaurants, kind of, and talk about your income. How are you, either you're pre-revenue or you're not pre-revenue, and kind of talk about that for a minute.
So let me jump straight to the downloads. Since our May 22nd launch, we're already at 1,300 downloads, and we'll probably be at a lot more after tonight.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And we're at about 600 active users every month. So we still got people coming back. But the thing is, our sessions are about triple that. So we have people coming back multiple times a day usually to use it for the different breakfast, lunch, and supper since it changes. And we actually have a slide for you guys.
Glad you mentioned that because that was the next one.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we have the flat monthly fee, general advertising. You pay to play, you pay to be on the app. We also have our freemium model where everyone can be on the app, but we charge for the analytics involved. So users will be able to go in on the back end, understand who's looking at their special, when they're looking at their special, and it'll allow them to make better informed decisions as far as when they promote their specials. We also have the percentage-based model where the bar or restaurant will go ahead and make a special that's specific for us, and we will take a small percentage of each conversion.
So I do need to clarify, we are actually pre-revenue, and this is part of why we need the strategic partnership, is because we need the technology to be able to implement these different pricing strategies. The key thing that we need is the ability to put a claim now button into our app so that we know whenever somebody goes in and uses it. Right now, we get a lot of feedback. We know that people are using it, but we want to be able to get it exactly right.
So describe your plan to scale throughout the United States.
Perfect.
So
basically what it boils down to is we're creating an ecosystem, right? So through our social media pages and the content that we're creating, we're building a funnel to bring people back to the app. Now this can go anywhere. We do blogs, vlogs, and real views, not reviews, because we believe in transparency. We know that our users do too. So basically every single town that we go to, we have the ability to go ahead and provide that experience to people. Forbes and Entrepreneur have all written articles about millennials shifting their spending habits towards more experience-based products and services as opposed to material-based. We believe that we fit that market perfectly. Scaling, we're currently planning on expanding to Baton Rouge by the end of this year. We're already in talks with 30 to 40 bars and restaurants in Baton Rouge that want to get their specials on our app. After that, we plan on moving down the road to New Orleans where there's 3,500 bars and restaurants inside of the metropolitan area.
And we're going to make it extremely easy for the bars and restaurants to get on Plate because we're going to create a back end so that they can go in directly into their specials and they don't have to deal with anybody like us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Are there, so we're doing this in Lafayette and Baton Rouge. If I go to Houston or Atlanta, is there an app like you guys are creating here?
A lot of towns have lists. There's actually only about 2 companies that do this nationally, and one of them is called Hook, and they're actually a college-based app. You actually have to enter your college to use it, and they're actually 28 states. There's another one in Chicago, and they do similar to what we're doing. But here in the South, it's pretty wide open.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
All right. So next up, we'll give him a second to get set up. But we have our invention with Wayne Nix. And then right after that, we're going to have one more. And then you guys get to vote.
That's yeah. Cool. Awesome. So when we start talking. Hey guys, we are Wayne and Dawn Nix, and we are our invention. We have 37 years of frontline health experience. And we, like many of you here, we believe that those that work the front lines oftentimes have the best ideas for products and services. You know who else believes in that? The American Nursing Association. They said specifically that we need to have nurse-focused innovations, specifically with product development. Why? Because we spend 80% of our time away from the bedside. 80%, guys. That means your loved one's not getting the care that they deserve. And why? Well, because oftentimes we're in search on a scavenger hunt for 3 miles a day looking for the tools that we need to do our job. So what are we looking for? Oftentimes we're looking for this guy. It's called a hemostat. Well, what's it for? It's for clamping arteries and pulling sutures. But why do I want it as a nurse? I'm trying to open boxes. I'm trying to open the oxygen key. Well, shouldn't something exist out there that's a utility tool? Well, there is, and there's something that's called a Raptor shear. It's big, it's bulky, it's built for this environment, the paramilitary workforce, for EMTs, for paramedics. It's built for breaking glass and ripping seatbelts. Shouldn't something be built for the 9 million nurses that have a more sterile environment, something to help us with what we need? Well, guys, I introduce to you Multinix. Its 15 plus features help us get our jobs done. It helps us give us 15 reasons to stay at the bedside and take care of your loved ones. Now, guys, we're nurses. We know we're building the right thing. We've been doing this for 3 years. We're building it for nurses, with nurses, and for the nursing market. And we plan to hit this huge market twofold. We have the enterprise and we have the individual. We'll be marketing to both. And we know we need to get into the enterprise to get those first orders to be able to get that traction that we need, right? But we also know we can market to the individuals that may not work at a hospital. They can help us with that brand awareness, help us with that funnel that we need to get to. And we have significant margins, and we're just at small scale right now. So guys, earlier this year we were asking for $300,000 in debt to equity. What remains right now is about 5%. We still have $85,000 that we're trying to raise. And what we want to use that money for is to be able to hire somebody that can help us with marketing, but not just branding and messaging. Somebody that understands full automation and online platforms and how we can tie that into our strategic plans to specifically pinpoint people on Facebook and yes, Instagram. Like us on Instagram. But guys, what is it that you're really going to get? You have the opportunity right now to join our family, to be part of a team that understands both the nursing side as well as the business side. Guys, this isn't not about like just our tool. This is about getting back to the bedside. It's getting back to your loved one, being able to provide that care. Guys, we need to shift the focus so we can get back to that bedside. With your help, with your support, we can get shift done. We are Wayne and Dawn Nix, and I'll take your questions at this time. And we have the prototype here.
That was my question. I wanted to see the product.
Okay.
How many have you sold so far?
None. So
None.
basically,
Okay.
the manufacturing process is a real long process.
Really? Yeah.
Correct. And being able just to take this from 3D to manufacturing, right now we have 3 hospitals that we're currently awaiting the solidified date. We don't want to burn the opportunity. They've been waiting for 2 years. So this is our T1 sample. We get a T2 sample in 2 weeks. And the idea is we'll have those first thousands by mid-December. And we're working on a strategy right now to figure out what are the 3 offers, not the 1 offer, because learning in the accelerator, we're trying to see what's best for them. Now we do have over 150 people on our mail list waiting VIP pricing.
Do you have a patent yet?
We have 1 patent, and we have an international patent application that we filed this year for the advancements. We have many more features that you do not see. This is our minimal viable
You're holding
product.
back.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I mean, obviously you have your profit margins, those sorts of things. Do you have a manufacturer lined up? Do you actually know what your manufacturing cost is going to be?
So right now we have small volume manufacturing, and our mold is only going to be good up to 150,000 units. So we're getting these made in China, but we're getting them made through Colorado. What does that mean? That means I have somebody that if there's ever any issue, I can go to them. They're in Colorado, and basically they're our matchmaker. So that allows us an opportunity. They've been in this field for over 28 years,
I might note that he used to do medical device sales. He's come out of retirement to try and help me sell these devices because he can't get a single nurse to not like it.
So who's your buyer and how do you reach your buyer? Is it systems? Is it direct to nurses? Kind of, can you speak to that a little bit, please?
So in healthcare, there's something that's called group purchasing organizations. That's what you really need to get into to get these big volume things. But how do you break into that market? You have to get the brand awareness. We just returned from Vegas in the International Nursing Conference. We'll be attending a lot of these conferences, but that's where the automation platform and the targeting with the campaigns come in. We want to be able to get the awareness first. We went to the American Nursing Association conference earlier this year as well. We have every single director in Louisiana for the emergency rooms awaiting our response to tell them when we have these devices for the first trial.
Another question. Are there any, so once you have your kind of finished product, are there any compliance hurdles that you'll have to cross before you're actually able to sell it into healthcare?
So we consulted with 2 companies that actually do FDA compliance assessments, and they said if we were to be considered, it would be pre-market or class 1 pre-market exempt. It's no different than the IV pole that's in the room. And here's the thing, my device or my tool, it's technically not a device, it's built for everything we do around the patient. It doesn't touch the patient like a stethoscope. So it's the same thing. It depends on what the hospital policy is. And Tom, one of the reasons why we made it out of the 403 grade stainless with all the claymable plastic is so depending on which hospital you work at, you can clean this thing with gasoline if you want, right? It's up to you.
All right. So last but not least, this guy is very short and fat. I mean, he's with short and fat. I'm sorry, Blake.
Thanks, Destiny.
Your partner put me up to that. Shortandfat.com.
I am standing up. Have you ever seen a mannequin that looks like me? Of course not. I'm not average. But what's a guy like me to do when I can't buy off the rack? And big and tall, that's not for me. Maybe the world needs short and fat. Hi, I'm Blake, and that's Jeff. We have over 90 years experience in being short and fat. For far too long, we've had to settle for clothes that were made for the average man, but we're not average. We're short or fat. We're spectacular. Until now. Short and Fat makes custom-built shirts for short guys, fat guys, or short and fat guys like myself. Who in this room's under 5'9"? I hate to tell you, but you're considered short. And if you're over 195 pounds, you're considered fat. Our shirts focus on 5 pain points that all short and fat guys deal with. We're trying to find a properly fitting dress shirt. The collar, the shoulder seam, the sleeve length, the shirt length, and then the worst of all, the dreaded belly wink. Y'all know the belly wink. You've seen the belly wink. You're giving me a belly wink right now. That's right. But not only did we coin the phrase, we also created the solution. What if I was to tell you that you can order custom fit shirts delivered directly to you, built by you, for you, to your door? Well, you can. We've created a subscription model, the Short and Fat membership model, where guys can get a shirt once a month, once every other month, and even once a quarter. Look, the fact is, men hate to shop, but we love to build. So we created an app that you can build your shirt one step at a time. You get to choose your own collar, your own cuff, your fabric design, monogramming, and many other options that are up to you. And we take your specific design and your exact body measurements, We build a shirt and ship it directly to your door. We're asking for $100,000 for 10% equity in our company. With this money, we'll use it for public relations, marketing, and advertising because we want to reach more short and fat guys. Because we believe, and say it with me, when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, I'm not going to drop this. Destiny might get mad.
So I have a hypothetical for you. Let's say hypothetically, if let's say Alan and I were fat. So I'm not just
own it.
Hypothetically.
And hypothetically, Mr. Allen's bald like myself.
And we might not want to be called fat.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of tying it into the business name and the idea. First, I love it, and I see a challenge at the same time. Because big and tall is kind of separated from potentially derogatory terms. Not that we would find you calling us fat or belly wink, healthy. But at the same time, I think it's an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. Can you kind of comment on that?
It's a blessing. Look, let me get real. It sucks to shop for guys like us. Plain and simple. Shirts were made for average men. So if you are short or fat or blessed like me to be short and fat, it's a challenge. The name does one thing great. Gets your attention. But it gives us the opportunity to tell our story. To tell people why we came up with this idea to serve a community of men that have been overlooked, forgotten, and totally underserved forever until now. And it's about reaching out to other people. Now, I've had people in this room say that this was an offense. It could be taken offensive. But we've talked to friends, family, and total complete strangers, because I'll walk up to a short and fat guy and start a conversation, and none of them are ever offended. Because you're talking directly to them, like they've never been talked to before. And it's a secret little bond. You're like, yeah, that's us. We're here to help you. So yes, we know that it might be offensive, but that's not the ones that love us for it.
I saw you had your 5 points up there.
Yes, sir.
So why are you different than any custom shirt? Do they also address those 5 points? Or are you just creating a tribe of short and fat guys?
Thank you. That's exactly what we're doing. We're creating a short and fat nation. We're not going after guys that buy custom shirts. If you buy custom shirts, we're talking to people that don't think they can get into the custom shirt market. Because to be honest, it's pretty expensive. Our price point is about 60% less than the average custom shirt that you go into a brick and mortar store. What separates us is we're talking directly to a community of men that have never been loved. They've never been spoken to just like this. And yet, you can get a collar that fits you, but if it fits me right here, my arms are going to be entirely too long. So we're just talking to our tribe, the short and fat nation, in a way that makes them feel they're part of something bigger. And we're going to ask them what our next product is. Because this is just the launch pad. Shirts are the foundation of every man's wardrobe. Every single person in this room, you got to wear clothes. It's the law. Sorry. But we also know from talking to so many people, women included, everybody's got that dream section in their closet. That's that section of clothes that just collects dust, but you can't throw it away, but you can't fit it in anymore. So we want to talk to them and say, you should deserve to feel good today. And we want to help them replace that dream section for realities, that shirts that fit.
So Blake.
Numbers. I've been watching you all night. You're about to ask me numbers. I can
yes,
tell.
I am.
I knew it.
Unfortunately, we used to work together, so he knows.
You heard that? Unfortunately.
Because you're on to me. Tell me, how big is the tribe, and how do you expand the tribe? What's your marketing plan?
I was prepared to tell you a terrible question, but that was a great question.
Sorry.
We are pre-revenue. We had a Kickstarter from July to August, which we were successful in. We raised more money than we intended to do. And we set a goal for December 1st to launch our actual business. We haven't taken an actual order outside of the Kickstarter. So right now, our tribe consists of the 85 backers that helped us on Kickstarter, with the hundreds of people that have been reaching out to us just waiting for that December 1st date. So being pre-revenue, to talk about the size of the tribe, I think would be unfair to the tribe, because it's really not about the size. It's the passion. It's the emotion that these people have thanked us before we were even a real company on how we're talking to them like nobody else and helping them feel more confident about how they dress.
I love the comfort. You said hundreds of people have reached out to you. How'd they find out about you?
Well, we make these really funny videos. To be quite honest, all we need to do is get the word out. We make videos on social media, and we would love to have the funds to advertise officially. And it's really, they find out by word of mouth, because we're starting a segment of men that have never been spoken to. And it's funny, but it's serious. And they share, and they tell their other short or fat friends about it. And we're here to give them a big hug.
This reminds me of the shirt ads I see on airlines all the time, airline magazines.
One day. Come on.
So you're going to use $100,000 for advertising. So you don't need any money to build up inventory. It's all direct order. If that's the case, how long does it take to get one?
Look, I have been heavily impressed by the turnaround time on the first 7 orders we've made to fulfill about a third of our Kickstarter orders. Now we want to under promise and over deliver. So we're gonna advertise that within 3 weeks you'll have your shirt. But the truth is, we've been getting shirts within less than 4 days from the time that I send the order in. They're manufactured overseas and are at my door. I've been very impressed with that. And that allows us some time, because we want to put them in a little love package and ship them out from Lafayette to throughout the world now.
Now that you've met Blake, you know that he's not very easily offended. So, and Jeff put me up to that. I'll let you know, Blake. So you got to get him back. All right, so that was the 9 teams. What'd y'all think? Okay, so now is your turn, or your chance to vote. So what you need to do is you need to text pitch to 40691 right now. That'll enter you in the opportunity to vote for your very own company, the company that you choose. What's going to happen is, as soon as you do that, you're going to get a response asking you to submit the company that you choose for your favorite, and we're going to tally those, and then we're going to announce the crowd winner a little bit later. Let's see. So,
hey Destin, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I want to embarrass 2 more people. Did y'all like those pictures or what? Night and day from when they first started 13 weeks ago to here. If anybody saw them when we did Pictures and Draft Night, who was at the grouse room at Pictures and Draft Night? That was a crazy night. For the last 13 weeks, where's Zach? He's been pouring into these companies. 13 weeks of pouring into them to get them to this point. And at the very end, we also brought in Aileen Bennett to come and help pitch coach. Let's give it up for Zach and Aileen to get these companies to this point. Great job. Tough voting. That was it.
So all of you should be getting the chance, or the text telling you to submit your vote fairly soon. Brian, is it sent? Okay, so everyone should be getting it very soon. So real quick, while you're waiting, or while you're submitting, we're going to give away 2 prizes from the Opportunity Machine. And the first one that we're going to give away is based on is going to be based on registration and your attendance here tonight. So that's for the 24-inch Samsung smart screen. Oh, sorry, not smart screen, the monitor. Where'd it go? And the second one's going to be on the podcasting equipment.
So actually, I'll take a quick second. So guys, first and foremost, thank you. Who's been here since like Joel Robideau this morning? Woo, holy crap! Good for y'all. Yeah, right on. So guys, this takes a lot of work, and obviously you guys have done a lot of work, and these teams have done a ton of work, right? But it takes a lot of work to show up. For those of you that aren't OM staff members who are paid to be here, or Pete or Winrock who landed this grant and are doing this as part of their job. So for all of you who chose to come, who are not required to be here, I want to tip my hat to you guys, because I'm going to tell you right now that making an entrepreneurial community isn't about the ones who come up here and pitch, because look, they're going to win cash. I pitch too, right? It's the people who don't have to be here, who do support the community, who have a dream, who have an idea, who have a want, and are willing to take their time, money, energy, and people resources to come out and try to make themselves better, their community better, the companies around them better. So for all of us who had to be here, I want you guys to give a big round of applause to all the people who chose to be here, and thank you for being a part of this community. All right, so now the next piece, this is how you buy time, right? So we have another, this is real stuff though, we have another accelerator coming up in February. Now you may be going, I want to do that, how do I make that happen? Well, this is a healthcare focused accelerator, but I am going to tell you this. When somebody tells you that you may not belong in their program, apply for it anyway, right? You lose 100% of the sales you never asked for. Now Pete may hate me after I say this because they're focused on healthcare, but I assure you that if for some reason that falls through and you're one of the applications, you have a good shot at making it, right? Make sense? Fair? You hate me for that? All right, cool. All right, good. So it's 14 weeks dedicated service. I can promise you this. You come in, you don't have to know how to sell anything. You don't have to know how to get up here. You don't have to be comfortable in front of anybody. We will make sure you know how to be successful. Is your product good? I don't know. Does that really matter? It doesn't. Because what's going to happen is that your product now, and Brent can talk about this, your product now might be okay, it might fail, but it might be the next one that really kicks ass. And what's going to be better about the next one is you, because when you figure out what your value is, how you sell, how you market, how you deliver, how you message, it isn't about this one. You're going to have better ideas, different ideas. You're going to find new partners, you're going to mature, you're going to grow, you're going to become awesome at what you do. Don't worry about winning. If you guys heard Chris Moe, he tanked huge. Oh my gosh, that dude buried millions of dollars. But yet we all look up to him and love him for it. He had tears in his eyes talking about the success that he had, not the failure that he dealt with. And I would argue to you, I would argue to everyone, he didn't fail. He just learned how not to be successful. He learned, right? So guys, apply, participate, learn, be a part of it. If you guys do need help, I know these guys are now, you can hear like the music at the Grammys, like shut up, get off the stage, right? If you guys need help, especially for those of you that don't have to be here, you got people who want to help you because we don't want you moving to Houston. Amen? Now, if you are going to move to Houston, I highly suggest being an Astros fan because apparently that works out pretty well. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. Again, thank you for everyone who didn't have to be here. I'm going to tell you that this community is working because of you guys. And so I hope that the next go-round you have to be here, and everybody who doesn't will show up again for us. So good to you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you.
Thanks, Zach. He's the king at buying time. All right. So in order to win the two prizes, you have to be here. So we have a list of names. So we're going to call them. If you are the first person who's here that I call, you win. This is for the 24-inch Samsung Curve TV screen. So that one goes to John Guillory. John Guillory, you here? Congratulations. John, you can hang out after this. We're gonna go let you collect it. All right. So the podcasting kit, the Behringer podcasting kit, goes to Walter Whitfield. Okay, we're almost done tabulating both the judges' votes and the crowd favorite. Oh, does he have it yet? Yeah? Okay. So in the meantime, I know you heard Zach talk about the Opportunity Machine, but seriously, if you need help with anything at all, if you need to get from stuff to unstuff, just come talk to us. Pete, we did talk about the next accelerator program? Okay. Awesome. So the deadline for that's coming up, so make sure you get your submissions in. And
if you don't have a healthcare idea, but do have a great idea ready for the next step, we created the Acadiana Angels. Have any of y'all heard of that? It was one of the sponsors for this event. The Acadiana Angels meets once a month, and if you go to acadianaangels.com, shameless plug, you can enter, and then we will vet your idea if it's something that we want to bring to our team of investors. We've got over 30 accredited investors right here in Acadiana. We've invested over $2 million since inception in last year, April 2016. And so we're actively looking for great innovators with really good scalable models. And I can tell you right now, money is not the issue in Acadiana. We just need really good founders with really good ideas. So bring them on and let's get you as part of that number, right? It doesn't have to just be healthcare. Thank you.
All right, the judges are hard at work. They asked how much time they had, and they heard that Zach was talking, so they might be taking a little extra time than what we thought. Oh, there we go. We got it. It's signed. Okay. Is that crowd favorite? All right. Tom is going to present that. Does Tom want to do it? Of course he does.
I'm nervous.
Wait, you're not one of the teams.
It's our babies.
I'm so proud of him. Oh yeah, in case you didn't hear earlier, so Tom Cox is the CEO of golfballs.com. He can print on golf balls, and it's really awesome. And he's about to present the crowd favorite.
1 million golf balls with your logo. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to do that. We actually do, a large part of our business is golf balls, and we sell logo shirts, hats, anything with a logo on it, promotional products we can do. So whoever is the crowd favorite can get a kind of broad assortment of all kinds of cool stuff with their logo on it, or a lot of golf balls. All right. Are we ready to snack? Are we ready to snack? Cajun Crate.
So Cajun Crate has just won, in case you didn't know, Cajun Crate has just won $1,000 in print merchandise from golfballs.com.
So was that great or what? I was very impressed tonight, and I was at the very first one at the grouse room. So tough decision. Congratulations to all the presenters. It's amazing what you're presenting, and I want to invest in all of them. I wish I had the money. Great news is a 9-way tie tonight. I'm joking. Now this was really, really difficult, but in the end, we felt like the company that really had such a solid business plan, presented all the details, knew the competition, knew the profit margins, knew where they were going, knew what was in the pipeline. Just an excellent product in a very scalable space, and in a cool industry, because video games are. Goes to Chiron.
is $5,000 paid for by the grant for professional services in Acadiana. So this is real money going right back into the community to amazing professional service companies that will help them even get to the next step. One more round. Guys, give it up for this guy. I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but y'all want to hear a quick word from him? Yeah. Six.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone, and you know, the Accelerate program has been just spectacular as a resource for helping all of us. I mean, you can see the improvement if you were at the grouse room, but just helping with the business models and helping us think through how we wanted to grow our companies and what we wanted to focus on. And really, like for me in particular, it helped me laser focus what we want to do with our company. And we've really changed a lot of stuff based on what we've learned in the Accelerate program. And I said, thanks, Zach. Appreciate it. Thanks, Aileen, for helping us with the pitch. I'm not good at public speaking. This is not something I do, and so this is pretty amazing. Thanks, and thanks, Pete. Really appreciate you, helping us walk through this. Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. It's $10 margaritas at Urbano's right now.
That's a plate special.
One more quick round of applause to all our sponsors, because this couldn't happen without money behind it. We need everything that they do to make this happen.
All right, so what did y'all think about today? Especially those of you who've been all day. All right, so if you're doing this again next year, y'all are all going to be here, right? Right? That's like 3 people out of the rest of it. You're going to be here, right? When we do this next year. All right. So obviously the end of the next accelerator is not going to line up with November whenever we do this event. But we will have another pitch competition. We'll do pitches and draft at the beginning of the semester, February. And then we'll do this event at the end. It's going to be in May? We don't know yet. But probably somewhere around then. So make sure that you stay tuned to social media. We'll be pushing out heavily on social media with Catherine at. She's been doing a great job of doing that. And we'll make sure that we have just as big of a crowd now as we do now. So thank you all for coming.